Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's class, we will discuss about architecture of medieval India, architecture of early medieval period in North India and South India, architecture during Delhi Sultanate. So let's start with brief introduction on architecture of medieval India. The medieval period was one of great splendors which has left its mark on India in the form of many monuments. These comprise grand forts and serene temples and mosques where Islamic and Hindu motifs often blend in perfect unity. The restoration of these old monuments had revealed previously unknown engineering and artistic techniques of the period. The architectural style of medieval India can be classified into the four categories. Architecture of the early medieval period mainly focused on temple building. The temples can be classified into the Nagara style, popular in North India, and the Dravidian style, popular in the Deccan region. Indo-Islamic architectural style, beginning with the Delhi Sultanate in the 13th century. Development of agriculture among the regional kingdoms. Architecture during the Mughal period from the 16th century onwards. Now, architecture of early medieval period in North India. The temples in North India were built in the Nagara style. The main characteristic features of the Nagara style are Garbha Griha or the inner chamber where the idol of the deity was placed, Shikhara or Vimana, which was a curvilinear tower which stepped over the Garbhagriha, Amalaka or stepped circular decks in stone, Mandapa or the assembly hall where the devotees gathered to pray, Ardha Mandapa or a porch preceded the Mandapa, Gopurams or the entrance to the temple. The Nagara style of architecture became very popular under the Rajputs, who greatly encouraged the temple building activity by giving lavish grant of land and money for the purpose. The temples were dedicated to Lord Shiva and Vishnu. Some of the finest examples of the Nagara style are found in Orissa, constructed between the 7th and the 13th century. The Lingaraja temple and the Mukteshwara temple in Bhubaneswar, the Sun temple at Konark, and the Jagannath temple at Puri are some of the finest examples of the Nagara style of architecture. On the other hand, the temples of South India followed the Dravidian style of architecture. The basic difference between the Dravidian and Nagara style was that in the Dravidia style, the Vimana was a highly pyramidal tower with several stories of reducing sized built over the Garbhagriha. Another difference was that temple in South India had lofty and very intricately curved gateways or gopurams which were topped by a kalasha or a water jug. The temples usually had four entrances in each cardinal direction. Another major deviation from the Nagara style is that the assembly halls or mandapas are pillared. The Pallavas, Cholas, and the Pandyas were great patrons of art and architecture and greatly encouraged temple building. The Pallavas are known for their rock cut temples, such as the Rathas of Mahabalipuram, which are breathtakingly beautiful examples of the rock cut temple hewn in monolithic rocks. The other examples of masterpiece in the field of temple building are the Brihadeshwarar temple at Tanjavur, the Hoysaleshwara temple at Halibut, the Vithala temple at Hampi. Now, architecture during Delhi Sultanate. The period of the Delhi Sultanate saw the birth of a new style of architecture which combined Indian and Islamic traditions. It was known as the Indo-Islamic style, a blend of Arabic, Persian, and Indian styles. The rise of composite culture came up because the monarch employed Indian craftsmen. With the coming of new rulers, the focus of building activities also shifted. The Muslim rulers built several massive buildings like the tombs or the maqbaras, fort or kilas, mosque or masjid, schools or madrasas, palace, or mahals. They built beautiful gardens or bagh and stepped wells called baules. One of the earliest buildings to be erected by the Muslims in India was the mosque, a place of worship of the Muslims. Unlike the Hindu temples, which were heavily sculptured, most were simple and had an austere look. The buildings of this period had some distinctive features: use of arcs, domes, and minarets. The construction of the dome eliminated the need for construction of pillars to support the roof. Unlike the traditional Indian styles, Islam prohibited the depiction of human figures on the buildings. Instead, geometrical and floral designs were made. Some Indian motifs like the lotus, bell, and wheel also started finding place in the Islamic buildings. A unique feature of this period was that the verses from the Quran came to be engraved in ornamental style of writing, popularly known as calligraphy. The most common material to be used in the buildings under the Muslim rule was the red sandstone. Later, marble became the favorite material of the Mughal rulers. Some of the famous and magnificent buildings built during the Delhi Sultanate are the Qutub Minar at Delhi, the Dargah of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia at Delhi, the Quwat ul Islam Mosque near the Qutub Minar. Let's stop here for today. We shall continue this chapter in our next class. Thank you.